Hello patrons and welcome to this video just for you about hiring and contracts. Some of the things that I didn't mention is what to look out for in your contracts. Contracts are very important because it will allow us to do certain things like differentiating between copyrights and exploitation rights. The difference, and I will talk about this at length in another video, but the difference is quite important because the copyright sometimes you are going to want to retain, but you are not going to be able to retain everything. But that has to be specified. So, for instance, whether the artist can use the work in any other way is one thing to keep in mind. The most obvious one that I can think about is I have a very large collection of paintings and drawings by Wayne England, the late absolutely wonderful artist. And those, all of them have been published in mostly D&D books. Now, he was able to sell the originals, the acrylic paintings that he did, because it wasn't specified in the contract that he wasn't going to be able to do it, or that he had to send them to Wizards of the Coast, for Wizards of the Coast to dispose of them as they pleased. That sort of little details can be very important. But also one aspect that you must always consider, two aspects actually, you always must consider are firstly termination of the contract, because at some point you may not want to continue working with the person. If the work is not up to standard, if they are not keeping up with deadlines, that sort of thing, you may want to finish the contract. Finishing the contract can be tricky because if you have already paid in advance a little bit of money, I usually paid 50-50, then who owns what? Terminating the contract will define who owns what. In my contracts, I always own whatever work has been done. Always. Unless an illustration, in which case I will not own the sketches or the drafts, anything at all, but the artist will not be able to use them either. That has to be specified. And trust me, it is very important because working relationships don't always work out. They really don't. So you have to keep that very much in mind. And the second thing that you have to keep in mind is how are disputes going to be settled? I always say, if somebody hires me and for whatever reason we have to go to court, I will have to go. If they take me to court, they will take me to the court of their choosing. So if somebody from the United States or the United Kingdom hires me and we had to go to court, it would be in an American or a British court. But if I hire somebody, then it would be in Spanish court. Why? Because the contract can be ruled by the laws of the countries where they are signed. And thus, copyright, exploitation, whatever, the laws may be slightly different. So it is important that you specify, if we have an issue, this will be settled here. And the thing is that if they don't want that, fine, find somebody else. Find somebody else. But those three little things, not so little things, on exploitations versus copyright and who owns what. Termination of contracts and what happens then, and disputes resolving, those three things, you always trust me, please, always must have that, because it matters. Thank you so much for being there. Please do tell everyone about these videos. These are for you. You can share them. And that is absolutely fine, absolutely fine. But anyway, seriously, thank you so much for being there. It is genuinely appreciated. I'll talk to you very soon. And I'm going to drink some water because it's really hot and my voice is suffering a lot. I'll talk to you soon.